Today's entry in the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Well, the Whitetail Diaries camp has been the setting for lots of great whitetail hunts over the past few years. With the Whitetail Diaries crew managing the property consistently and properly, well, the free-range whitetail have grown not only in population, but in stature. And the crew and our friends, well, they love to hunt the property by any means possible. You'll see them in the field with rifles, handguns, crossbows, and archery gear on any given day. And today, well, we'll be hunting the deer camp exclusively with our bows. That's all ahead on today's Whitetail Diaries. Yamaha presents the Whitetail Diaries, chronicling hunting adventures of the most plentiful and intelligent big game animal in North America. Join top whitetail hunters nationwide. Embark on the amazing adventure that is hunting the whitetail deer. The Whitetail Diaries Deer Camp is led by Wade Middleton, who spends hours out here working to do what he can to manage the property, filling feeders and maintaining water sources to make conditions better for the free-range deer on the property and for the hunters who visit.
The amount of deer on this property, despite drought conditions, and it's been through some real good game management, mind you, but it's just incredible. It's a joy to get out there in the outdoors and to get your morning and evening hunts in, because you know you're not going to be bored. Because even if you don't get a shot, you're going to sit there and you're going to watch game all morning long.
Our particular hunting camp scenario, we've got a lot of places set up specifically for archery hunting. We've got a lot of ground blinds, we've got some tripods set up, and you know, in all of those situations, we have to keep in the mindset what the wind's doing, what's going on around us, and the people that get to ease into those stands are amazed at how many deer that we actually see in those areas. And a lot of it's just simply because we aggressively manage those areas. But number two is we don't just bang those spots up. We don't hunt them a lot. We kind of plan our entire year around when we're hunting certain deer in certain areas, and that kind of allows us to have some good success when it comes to archery hunting.
Archery hunting offers a wide range of challenges, from swirling winds giving your scent away to being seen while drawing your bow, as well as failure to execute your shot at the crucial time.
For me, rifle hunting is still extremely fun, and it's challenging too, and it's rewarding, but not nearly as much as a bow kill.
You are there with the animal. It's not a long-range deal. You are so close. I mean, any little tiny thing that drops, any little creak of the stand can definitely send that animal off.
Now, one of the most fast-paced bow hunts on the ranch this year came when bow hunter Bart Schad came to visit. His buck came in so fast and his opportunity so fleeting, well, we nearly missed it on camera.
You know, rolled into camp in the evening, just got time to really shoot my bow, make sure everything was set up right. Got up this morning, you know, got to the blind and thought, you know, this would be a great opportunity if it came up.
The setup that we've got Bart going to is one that we really haven't utilized a lot on this piece of property. You know, we're in our 4th year here, and when we first picked the piece of property up, nobody really even went back there. This year, at that particular spot, we got pretty active. We actually went in and plowed a very large food plot. That's the first time anybody's ever sat in that stand, and that could be a challenge, because when you set up a stand, especially a ground blind, until you hunt in it, you really don't know what's going to happen.
You know, within, you know, half hour, 30, 40 minutes of daylight, we saw this buck. We thought, man, he's definitely a shooter. At that point, I went into a little bit of panic or anxiety mode of trying to figure out how I could get turned and draw back and get the shot we wanted on him. And you know, as he worked his way around, actually there were 3 windows set up, and I started in one window as he came by, and he took his time getting there, kept moving pretty steady once he started coming, I had to shift after I was drawn to the second window, and he was still moving at a pretty good clip. So by the time he got to the third window, I knew that if he paused for the briefest of moments, that I was gonna take the shot. It was all happening pretty fast, and so when I got over to him, I couldn't believe it. You know, this is an old deer, mature deer, and big. So I still can't believe it because it was really a deer of a lifetime for me. That's my first Texas deer with a bow, and I think he'll do. What do you think?
When we come back, we'll have more exciting bow hunts from the Whitetail Diaries Deer Camp. The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you in part by Yamaha ATVs and side-by-sides, real world tough. Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter of hunting, fishing, and outdoor gear. Garmin, we'll get you there. And by Nikon Sport Optics.
Julie Golaski, Smith & Wesson Consumer Program Manager and World Champion Shooter.
Joe Zanetti, Smith & Wesson Finishing Specialist and lifelong hunter.
Jim Dalton, Smith & Wesson Master Gunsmith. I shoot competitively, and so does my son.
Our people, our products, our passion. Smith & Wesson.
Hunting isn't what we do, it's who we are. And the animals we hunt aren't the same as they were 1,000 years ago. They've evolved, they're smarter, but so are we. I believe that we as hunters must always strive to be better. And Stealth Camp makes me a better hunter. What do you believe?
It's for those who get up early on weekends and those who'd rather rough it than take it easy. It's for those who know it's not just a sport, but a way of life. The new Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing system keeps food fresh up to 5 times longer with a rugged design and 12-volt adapter cord for easy use in the field, ensuring your game and fish is fresh when you need it. The Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing system. Fielded fresh, sealed fresh.
Get lost in the hunt, not the wilderness. Hunt with Garmin.
I hold the spot-on advantage. And there are a million more like me, using Spot On to build confidence in shooting, farther and with more precision than ever before. The next generation of shooting accuracy has arrived. Join us.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Want your chance to win a trip to the world-famous Whitetail Diaries Deer Camp? Well, just find Whitetail Diaries on Facebook and click the like button. It's that easy for your chance to win. We're nearly to 25,000 likes, and when we reach that, we'll pick one lucky winner, maybe you. And if you win, well, you'll be hanging out with the crew, swapping stories around the fire, and while playing your pick of Activision and Cabela's video games. Then wake up early, load up a Yamaha ATV or side-by-side, and head out in the field with Whitetail Diaries host, Wade Middleton. You'll get your chance at a world-class Texas-sized mature buck, and even get to use one of our state-of-the-art Thompson Center rifles with Nikon scope. And all this will be filmed for a future episode of the Whitetail Diaries. Tell your friends to head to Facebook for their chance to win this once-in-a-lifetime trip and be eligible to win other prizes from our friends at Garmin, Cabela's, Yamaha, Frog Togs, and much, much more. Now, last year's Yamaha's Steve Nessel, a regular at the deer camp, came into camp hoping to get his shot at a deer that he missed on a previous hunt.
Well, my first trip down here for an archery hunt was going to be my first try at a bow kill from the ground. It was a new experience for me the first time I did it, and to be honest with you, it wasn't the problem that I had the first time I was here. Unfortunately, it turned out that I did take a shot and the deer ducked and I hit a non-vital area. Luckily, that deer lives today and still lives this very day because I saw him just a few days ago.
Also in the deer camp at the same time as Steve was Cabela's Larry Robinson, who's also gearing up his bow to head out to a tripod stand near a water source, where he's hoping to get a shot at a droopy-eared deer the crew calls Droopy.
Tonight we're in pursuit of a deer called Droopy. The reason why he's called Droopy is that because somehow, some way he's injured one of his ears. When he looks at you, one ear is drooping. He's a 6x5. This morning we actually had him, but he was going to my left. I tried to initiate standing up, and that's when the whole thing just blew apart this morning.
Now, before Larry and Steve get out on the hunt, let's take a closer look at what Larry brought from Cabela's to use on his hunt. Whitetail Diaries presents Fully Loaded, getting you geared up from head to toe for your next time in the field.
With working with Cabela's, I've been there for a number of years and mainly dealing in the archery industry. It's one of those deals that allows me to get out here and play with products. I brought 2 or 3 different kinds of broadheads on this trip. It's just one of those deals that allows me to get out and enjoy my passion the way I want to. You don't want to do injustice to the animal. We go out there months in advance. We shoot marked yardages to really understand how you're shooting at certain distances. And these days with rangefinders, it does make it a little easier. I mean, the guesstimate is gone. You actually can tell exactly how far you are from that animal. Even comes down to quality optics. Being able to tell the animal from a long ways away, when you catch that little glimmer or a little shimmer or whatever and you need to see what it is, good quality optics will bring that to you.
Shop Cabela's your way, in the store, online at Cabela's.com, or order a catalog by calling 1-800-237-4444. Back to the hunt. Now, both Steve and Larry are dealing with low light situations. Steve is set up in the ground blind in the early morning and has already spotted a big body in the distance. And Larry's hunting in the evening, dealing with fading light, hoping Droopy will make an appearance before the sun goes down.
Well, the deer's there, the 9's there. He's where the 10 was the day before. We're taking him. Decision was made before we got in the blind. Either one, they're done. You know, you gotta give it a go. And so I got the arrows knocked and ready to go. I've got the release on. I've got the bow in my hand. I'm up, and now it's time to draw back. And this is where it went wrong last year when I spooked by drawing back. But with a lot of practice, worked on being quiet, back far in the stand so I can do it all natural. And I came, and he didn't spook. He settled in. As a matter of fact, he didn't jump until the arrow hit him.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
The light, although low, was just enough for Steve to make a perfect shot. Now, while he waits for the sun to come up to go track his deer, the elusive Droopy has just entered the field below Cabela's Larry Robinson.
Got down to right around a half hour left of light. We finally got some deer movement from my left. Couple small bucks, a little small 8, couple spikes, couple does, 1 fawn, and then all of a sudden Droopy's in the house. He's there. I mean, he came in, he was checking out the other animals. With the other animals on the side, he maneuvered around, and that's when I let my arrow go.
Oh, he's gone down, he's gone down. He's down. Droopy's down. Droopy's down.
More whitetail hunting action when the Whitetail Diaries returns.
How about that?
Load up, gear up, and save big at Cabela's. Get what's new for the season at tough-to-beat prices. You can trust our gear. Shop your way. Online at Cabela's.com, by catalog, or in-store. Cabela's, world's foremost outfitter.
In the world of ATVs, there's tough. Then there's Yamaha, real world tough. For the most rutted out trails, the hardest working farms, and the most remote hunting terrain, Yamaha Grizzly ATVs with electric power steering. Real world tough.
This is where 10 Point was born. Before there was a factory or a business plan. Rick Bednar and his dad Bill started this company with a shared focus. 10 Point remains the industry standard for quality and performance. Rick and his sons are making sure of that.
If I wouldn't shoulder it, we wouldn't build it.
10 Point crossbows. There is no substitute.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries, brought to you in part by Smith & Wesson. Do all outdoors, field-tested, guide-rated gear for the outdoors. Delta Ag Formulations, improving plant performance. Thompson Center, America's master gun maker. We're on the Whitetail Diaries Deer Camp in South Texas, looking back on some great bow hunts. Yamaha's Steve Nessel and Cabela's Larry Robinson both just took down some fantastic bucks. Steve's buck came out quick in the low light of morning, and after a long track, he was beginning to have his doubts about his shot.
Eventually, I let myself look into the edge of those woods, and I saw the white belly, and you know, range of emotions, relief, excitement. I think I hooped and hollered and jumped up in the air. I mean, from the start of the hunt to the finish of the hunt, 4 days later. Every step that we took to make sure that we did the right thing to get that animal, I'm super proud of it, of our effort out here, of the way the game has been managed to keep the quality deer on a low fence property like this. It's been outstanding.
Larry Robinson took a droopy-eared buck who the crew refers to as Droopy from a tripod stand. And although the light was fading in the evening, it was plenty for him to get a clear and perfect shot on Droopy.
What a great Texas buck. Oh my gosh. Dream come true there.
Well, that was another exciting entry in the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. And now it's Whitetail Diaries host Wade Middleton's turn to reap the benefits of his hard work and hunt on the land that he takes care of year-round.
You know, for me, this year, archery hunting, I really was keen on the hopes of taking pincushion. Pincushion has been a deer we've been looking for some time. Gene Eisman actually wounded him. Steve Nessel actually, nicked him on one, and Steve almost had another chance to get him. And I finally decided, man, this deer here, he's of mythical proportions, and I wanted to start hunting him. And I started spending day after day in the stand looking for where we thought we could get him. And was passing a lot of good bucks and wasn't, seeing pincushion at all. Wasn't even really sure if pincussion's still alive. And as I sit here and do this interview months after the fact, I don't even know if pincussion's still alive. And I begin to question my sanity because I get in those situations where I start, looking at one deer and passing so many good bucks.
Good deer.
We had one particular hunt where Jeff and I were in there, and I mean, it was like somebody had opened the gates to the zoo of all whitetails. I mean, these deer, I don't know where they were coming from. A lot of deer that I had never seen on scouting cameras, I'd never seen in a stand. I mean, I don't know where they came from. It was just a magical day, and we all have those magical days every now and then. And they were just coming in from every area, and several good shooter bucks. And I just kept thinking today was going to be the day. I was going to pick a big one, or the bull moose of the woods that nobody's seen was going to show up. And as the sun set, you know, it became apparent that, man, we had a lot more deer back there than we really ever believed or had seen, and that the opportunity was going to present itself coming up on one of these hunts to take a shot.
There's been lots of activity in front of the pop-up, but no sign of the deer the crew refers to as pincushion. When the Whitetail Diaries returns, Wade gets an opportunity he cannot refuse.
The world can be a tough place. That's why you need a side-by-side that's even tougher. The 2013 Rhino 700 Fi from Yamaha. The toughest, most off-road capable side-by-side out there. Rhino. Real world tough.
Get lost in the hunt, not the wilderness. Hunt with Garmin.
Now, when it comes to wildlife management products and services related to raising big whitetails, you don't have to look any further than Mummies Incorporated. Located in South Texas, Mummies has been the leader in wildlife management products for over 20 years and know what products it takes to get the job done right. We're the largest independent dealer of Purina's Antler Max line of deer feeds, in addition to our famous brand of Mummy's deer corn that's utilized on ranches all across South Texas. We have a wildlife specialist on staff to answer your deer management questions and help you out with your deer program. At Mummy's, you're a part of the wildlife family and not just a customer.
We try to be here for more than just some place to stop and pick up feed. We're here to answer anybody's questions and any kind of wildlife-related instances.
Before you make your next purchase of any wildlife-related items, be sure to check out our website at www.mummiesinc.com to see how we can help you out. Are you hunting for a trophy whitetail? To harvest a big buck, you gotta hunt where he lives, and that's the Nooner Ranch, home of some of the biggest bucks in Texas. Whether it's rifle or archery, the Nooner Ranch can accommodate your hunting style. To book the hunt of a lifetime, call 210-508-0113 or visit noonerranch.com. Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Host Wade Middleton is having a great time hunting on his own property and reaping the benefits of his hard work. He's seen a lot of good bucks and passed on some good ones in hopes of going after one particular buck the crew calls pincushion. But today's the last day of his hunt and his plans have changed a bit.
I wanted pincushion, but I had kind of come to the conclusion that he was either broke up or had moved on or even possibly been harvested by one of the neighbors when 2 or 3 other good bucks started really tempting me. And it wasn't long until I'd made the decision up that if one of these guys showed up, it was going to be time to knock an arrow. I mean, we're just kind of sitting there, and all of a sudden, here pops this deer out of the left corner. And I'd never seen this deer before, never even seen anything that looked like him. And I whispered to Jeff, I'm gonna shoot that deer, I'm gonna shoot that deer, I'm gonna shoot that deer. And at that moment, everything just changes. Your heart starts beating a little faster. Your emotions are a little better. The intensity in your eyes of watching those does off to the side. Is that old grumpy doe that busts me all the time sitting over there? What's going on over here? What else is coming? You know, man, is everything right? You got him, is he in the camera? And man, When I reached down to knock that arrow, and man, I was coming to draw, and I mean, everything was working out perfectly. The deer was facing off to my right, not even aware we were there. The old grumpy does off to the other side, they weren't blowing and stomping. When I got the pin on that deer, it was just like, whew, perfect.
Great hit right there. Smoked him. Smoked him. I mean, smoked him. Never seen that deer before. I mean, he came in, he's got a little kicker. Old deer. Came smoothing in there, light was perfect on him. Holy cow, I've spent several days back here. That's a good buck right there. Smoked him. I'm telling you what. Whew, I love it when they jump like that.
You know, if you're an archery hunter or a rifle hunter or any type of hunter for that matter, right after you take the shot, there's that emotion, that excitement, that exhilaration that's going on. And then, I don't care who you are, there's gonna be a little creep of doubt pop into your mind. Man, was it good? Did I do it right? And you start replaying that moment, and as you ease out there, and you start getting on the blood trail, and you start seeing blood, and you go a little further than what you thought, you're like, oh my God. Oh my God. You get all these things going through your mind, when in reality, you know you made a good shot. I mean, I knew I'd made a good shot.
There he is right there. Man, there he is right there. Oh my God, look at this guy. Look at this old guy.
When I got to him, I mean, it was just like, wow, what a great year with the bow in hand, and what a great hunt, and the days spent out here on a place that we put a lot of effort and a lot of time into to be able to pick him up and know that this was one that not only is going to eat well, but it's going to take a place of honor on the wall out at the camp. And it was just a phenomenal wrap as we hauled that deer out and threw him in the back of the Rhino to start heading back to the camp and start taking pictures and all that. I mean, it was just, that's what it's all about. I mean, it was the months of work, the months of practice, down to that one little moment of squeezing that release and seeing that deer jump and knowing we'd done it all the right way.
Nice buck. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Awesome bow there.
Well, that was another fantastic entry in the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Wade took a great buck at the Whitetail Diaries deer camp. That would not have been possible without the great management efforts throughout the year to maintain the property and the free-range deer that call it home. Do you want your chance to go after a big Texas buck with Whitetail Diaries host Wade Middleton and have that hunt filmed and used for a future episode of the Whitetail Diaries? Well, then go to facebook.com/Whitetail Diaries and click the like button for your chance to win. You'll also be eligible to win lots of great prizes from our friends at Yamaha, Garmin, Cabela's, and much, much more. So find us on Facebook and click the like button. Thanks for joining us. Join us next week, won't you, for another exciting entry in the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries.